Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series. As you can see, we're continuing from our last episode, working on making a little bit more money before we take off in our maiden voyage in our fleet carrier. If you haven't been following the series, we are getting ready to take off in the fleet carrier we purchased a little bit ago. We've been spending the last several episodes just kind of doing the workup that is required to get ready to go, making sure we have, a decent amount of tritium available for making the jumps, making sure we have a decent amount of money available for making those very expensive weekly payments that a carrier requires. Making sure that we have all of the ships available that we're going to want to take with us for the journey, because once we're out in the black, there is no purchasing anything, any new stuff that we might want. So whatever we have when we leave is what we're going to have when we go. So just kind of trying to take the time to make sure that we're grabbing everything we think we're going to need, giving people time to, get any ships that they want in the fleet carrier. If any of you want to come along for the ride, the location is... we're located in Listi. Check out our if you want to join, check out the Discord. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to remember to update the description of the videos when I do these, but I will try to make sure I update the Discord information. There is a channel in the Discord that will show that. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to help us reach our next major milestone of 10,000 subscribers. By clicking that subscribe button. The number only goes up if you actually press the button. If you don't press the button, the number doesn't go up, so be sure to go ahead and do that. Click the like button to help the video spread out to other people, give them a chance to help the channel grow as well. And also, hold on, let me mark this off. And next up is going to be C6. Also, we have over... 3, 4, 5, 6. We have over 1,500 videos available on the channel. So after watching this one, be sure to head over there, check out the list of options over there. They are organized in nice, neat little playlists for your convenience. And there's a wide variety of different games on the channel, so be sure to go check that out. There's going to be something there for you. So right now, we're currently using the Spanch... I keep forgetting what the name is because I don't go back to the website. I just downloaded the Excel spreadsheet for it, but it's the Spanch exobiology pathway or whatever that gives you a nice list of... Ooh, these are really hard to control. Temperature critical. Okay. There we go. All right. It gives you it basically lists out the location of expensive exobiology targets to go find. So it makes it very easy to make money in a very quick and easy way, because you don't have to go find anything. It's just listed out for you, very nice and easy. So yeah, we're just trying to make a few more. It really irritates me when I press the button and it doesn't respond. I really can't stand that. I gripe about this game a lot. I'm sorry, but there's things about it that really irritate me, like the fact that the interface doesn't respond as quickly as I want to move. I shouldn't have to wait for the interface for this stuff. It should just, if I click it, it should just do what I ask it to do. Too many times I go in here to try to quickly press the button, but because the interface didn't load fast enough, it doesn't respond to my button press, and then I end up having to go back and do it again. Anyways, we are our plan right now is to take our fleet carrier out to Colonia. It seems like a nice, safe maiden voyage kind of thing, because A, we're going to a place where we know there's going to be services there once we get there, and B, if I remember correctly, there was an initiative a couple of years ago where they put a bunch of stations along the route to Colonia. To make it, to give people a place to kind of stop off as they go. So, ideally, what I'm kind of hoping is that if we run into any kind of trouble, or I start having a hard time finding fuel or whatever, ideally we'll be able to, jump near a station, grab the cutter, run over, grab some fuel, and top off for whatever we need. If we can't, if we can't keep the fuel stuff up on our own for whatever reason. So, I like to hedge my bets whenever I do stuff like this, and try to find the option with the least amount of risk. I'm a big fan of avoiding risk whenever possible, which I think is most people. I think most people like to avoid risk whenever they can. So since this is my first my first time ever owning a fleet carrier, and I don't know what I'm doing. It seems like, you know, picking a reasonably easy destination is probably a good idea. So let's get down here. We're mostly looking for Stratum Tectonicus. If we find, they have some other things like Cactoida and Tussock and other things listed on some of these planets, but for the most part, I'm not worried about those. If we can find Stratum Tectonicus, that's more or less what I'm looking for. And if those other things happen to be nearby, we'll grab them as well, but I'm not going to go searching for them. I just don't want to do that. We made about, what, 20, 40, 60... 50 million credits in the last episode. So, not too shabby. Especially given the fact that, you know, I'm not really, like, rushing, especially because I'm talking and, like, trying to convey things to you guys. I'm not exactly being the most efficient with my getting things done. I move a little slow when I'm having to divide my attention between playing the game and actually, you know, performing for you guys, which that's what this is. This is a performance of sorts. I'm having to, you know, behave in a way that is more or less acting. Okay. So some bacteria. Here's our stratum. Let me know in the comments if you understand the reference of the title of the last video and then this one, because they are a reference, and if you know the reference, then you know the reference. And if you don't, then you should probably go look it up, because it's worth knowing. Okay, 2 more of those, and then we can move on to the next body. Oh, well, C5. I really wish that they would put them in number order. Because they had us go to C6, and then after this, they want us to go to C5. And then after that, they want us to go to C7. It's like, why can't you just do 5, 6, 7? That happens a lot. Happens a lot with this list. Alright, hop out, grab this stratum here. And boom. One more to go. So yeah, this is if I've planned out my videos correctly, this is the last video before we're actually going to take off. This video should publish on Sunday around 4 o'clock, and then our live stream will happen at 6 o'clock Pacific time. What is that? The live stream where we're actually going to move the carrier will happen around 6 o'clock Pacific time on Sunday. So if you're interested in coming to hang out with us, be sure to come and do that. The plan is to have, anytime we're going to move the carrier, it'll be a weekly live stream. So I'm guessing every Sunday. It's hard for me to do the live streaming thing because my schedule is based around my wife's schedule, and her schedule changes a lot. So it's very difficult for me to do... What is this? I'm just curious. I know what this is. I think it's some kind of osseous, maybe? Osseous fractus. Okay. We're not going to waste our time with that, though, because it's not on the list, and we need to move on to the next body, which does take a little bit of time. So we can mark this guy off as being done. Head into the system map. Now we're going to C5. Take off.
Landing gear retracted.
But like I said, you know, part of me wants to like start doing a regular live stream, like a daily live stream, because I think it would be kind of a better use of my time, and it would allow me to kind of double the, I don't know about double, but maximize the effectiveness of the time I'm spending doing this stuff, because I would get a live stream out of it. Well, let me explain the process. My thought, see what I mean? Like, it goes from taking forever to get out of there to all of a sudden you're zipping past your target. Using your Super Cruise Overdrive for this part is just like I'm 400 freaking light seconds away now because this is the kind of stuff that this is. I'm not going to go into it again because I literally just spent an episode talking about it, but this is the kind of stuff that irritates me about this game. The computer should be able to just make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, and it irritates me that they don't. But anyways, moving back on to what I was talking about. My thought is that it would be kind of cool to set things up so that I'm basically live streaming my recording. Like, I wouldn't make it to where, you know, you guys are watching me do recordings and stuff. It would be a live stream, but I would split my live stream up into whatever games I'm going to play for the day, and then when I start a new game, I just basically, in addition to being in the middle of a stream, I just press the record button to record that for a video. Because my format, if you watch enough of my videos, you know that these videos are basically what you would get out of a live stream. I don't do really any video editing anymore because I've found ways to put my logo on top of the video without having to put it in video editing software, and to have my call to action and stuff come up and at a certain amount of time and all of that. And you know, I basically have it set up so that and I also have pause buttons that allow me to, you know, pause the recordings and stuff when I need to do that as well. So most of the things I would need to do video editing for have been removed because I figured out ways around it. So, you know, doing a live stream would make it so that I could do, it basically just doubles the exposure for the time that I'm investing in doing these videos, because, you know, I'm already doing more or less a live stream format, and it would basically make it so that people who want to show up for a live stream can show up for a live stream, and people who just want the recordings can go watch the recordings. Now, I'd like to do that, sort of. I don't necessarily like the idea of locking myself down to a schedule, because one of the benefits of doing something like this the way I've been doing it is that I can sit down and do my recordings whenever I want to, or whenever it's convenient, or whenever it makes sense. I'm not locked to a specific time because, you know, I can just sit down and record whenever I want to. A live stream, if you want that to have any chance of being successful, it has to be at the same time, on the same days, because people need to know when to show up to watch. So I've been very resistant to doing live streams because I don't really want to lock myself down to a schedule. But at the same time, I want my channel to grow, and if doing a live stream is going to significantly increase that, well, you know, sometimes you just got to suck it up and do what you got to do. But again, the problem for that is that I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm having to do live streams and stuff like that on my wife's days off, because we don't really get to see each other that much because of the way that our schedules are right now. Mostly the way that her schedule is right now. So I try to make sure that on her days off, I don't have anything that I need to do so that we can just, you know, hang out together and all of that. But because her days shift around, like her days off are almost never the same anymore, especially with she recently got a promotion at her job, which is awesome, but now her schedule shifts around even more than it used to, and it makes it very difficult for me to schedule anything that would be consistent. And for a live stream, I absolutely would need that to be ultra consistent. So it's a lot of details that, you know, you don't think about until you're confronted with them. And it's like, initially I was resistant to it because I didn't want to lock myself down to a schedule, but now I'm resistant to it because it's like, well, I don't want to I don't want to lock myself down to this schedule, and then her days off end up being on days that I'm going to be recording, and now I'm, you know, it is what it is, and that's, I don't know. Now, part of me is like, well, you know, sometimes you have to make sacrifices to get where you want to get, but at the same time, it's like, well, but if that sacrifice, like if this channel never actually grows to a level that makes it to where I can, you know, at the very least have it as a significant portion of my income, my overall income, right? Like, I don't necessarily need this to be the only thing that I'm doing, but, you know, I'm hoping it's going to grow to the point where it makes enough money that it's at least, you know, maybe half of the income I need to do things. Like, if I could get to that point, I'd be pretty stoked. You know, but if it never ever gets to that point, then all of this effort and time and stuff I'm putting in ends up being a complete waste, and the sacrifices, you know, from a relationship standpoint, end up not being worth it, right? So, like, it's hard decisions to make, especially for something that is as much of a long shot as YouTube is. Let's see here. We need to go to C7 now. That one's 47 light seconds away, too. I gotta be aligned with the escape vector. I think it's kind of ridiculous that you have to align with the escape vector when you're just going into Super Cruise, but when you're gonna jump to another system, somehow it's able to just figure it out. Alright, so I'm gonna turn this off as soon as we're out of the orbital cruise, so that we don't end up overshooting it like we did last time. And unfortunately, it just doesn't get you close enough. But then once you're out of the gravity well, the speed shoots up like crazy, and you end up overshooting. So they don't provide you with a way to, like, just optimize this crap. And now I have to do this again. And look at that. I think I was supposed to do 4C. I don't know. It's annoying. It's annoying. So let's get this one locked in. Excuse me. Still recovering from being sick. So, yeah. But the thing about the live stream is that I could use one of those restream. I could use the restream service to stream my service out to a couple of different platforms, and you know, if I invest a little bit of money every month, I could stream out to several different platforms and make it so that I'm maximizing the reach and directing as many people as I can to my YouTube channel. I have to tell you, one of the big things that irritates me about YouTube recently is the fact... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, well, I guess we're going to go all the way to the other side for that one then. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, realistically, those 2 probes should be enough with the expanded probe reach for this, but whatever.
Surface scanned by 50%.
I didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's get our stratum on. I don't know. Like most things in my life, there's never a good solution to anything. And that's just like I hate this to do the whole woe is me thing. But this just kind of encapsulates my life. There's like I'm never presented with a nice, neat solution. It's always you know, you're gonna have to give up something if you want this, and it just sucks. It sucks. Maybe that's everybody. I'm sure it's a lot of people, but it's just like, why can't I just have a good solution that allows me to, you know, not necessarily have the best of all options, but you know, like, don't force me to give up something to go after this thing that I want to do. Like, I'm already giving up stable income and stuff for this. Like, don't make me give up other things. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. A lot of it is just the fact that, you know, YouTube is one of those things where it's one of the biggest. It's like winning the lottery. It's almost like winning the lottery. The odds of any one person, no matter how good your content is, the odds of any one person actually making it big on something like YouTube is astronomically small, given the number of people who are trying to do it. And realistically, like most things in life, the stars kind of have to align for you if you're going to make it. You can spend hours and hours making really great content, but if nobody ever ends up watching it for whatever reason, there's a million reasons why, you know, you could have top-notch quality content, but it just never gets seen by anybody. Maybe the algorithm is not being kind to you. Maybe you don't know how to manipulate the algorithm. I've done research a bunch of times trying to figure out, you know, ways to manipulate the algorithm into doing what I want it to do. But, you know, most of us, just like me and many other people, just don't have the ability to understand that in a way that is going to be effective. Like, I don't know even the basics of how to get the algorithm to even just put my video in front of people more. So it's a very slow growth process, because, you know, there's people who start out and they're big within a couple of months because, to be perfectly honest, yeah, they have great content, but also they know what they need to do to make the algorithm do what they want it to do. They have an intuitive understanding of how to do that. And the rest of us just have to keep grinding and hope that enough people watch our stuff and watch it for long enough. Like, if somebody pops into your video and clicks off after 5 seconds, well, that hurts a lot. That hurts your growth a lot, because now the YouTube algorithm, rather than assuming that, you know, not that the video isn't good, but that it just wasn't that person's cup of tea, it immediately goes to assuming that it's a low quality video and it's not worth putting in front of other people because several people clicked off of it. And, you know, I'm not claiming that my videos are high quality by any means. I don't really put that much effort into I don't really put a lot of effort into these, other than just trying to make sure that while I'm on camera, I'm as dynamic and interesting to watch as possible. But I don't do a lot of video editing. I'm not willing to spend a lot of time outside of recording to, you know, to streamline everything, for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, I just don't want to do it. That's a lot of time spent. It's a lot of game time that I spent doing recordings that ends up getting lost because of cutting things out, right? Like, that's time I spent actually, you know, playing the game for the channel, and then I'm going to cut it out because, you know, people don't want to sit and watch an actual game. They don't actually want to sit and watch gameplay. They just want a highlight reel. I'm not interested in catering to short attention span people. I'm trying to build an audience of people who have a desire to, you know, preferably go back to the original Let's Play format. Like, I miss the days of having an interesting content creator who just played the game, and I could just sit and watch them play. The first YouTube channel that I really sat down and started watching was Captain Sparkles, back when he was doing just straight up Let's Play videos on Minecraft. I watched his entire series from beginning to end. I watched his entire Jerry's Tree series from beginning to end, and every once in a while I'll go back and watch it again, because Captain Sparkles, especially at that time, was just interesting to watch, and I enjoyed feeling like I was hanging out with him, because, you know, that's the kind of content that I like to watch. All of this in sensational crap, or the highly edited, you know, we're gonna cut everything out and only give you the high dopamine hit stuff. It's like, I don't really get into those videos, because part of the reason why those dopamine hits get you is because you spend the time being chill for a long time, and then all of a sudden, oh crap, something cool happened, right? When you're just getting hit after hit after hit, you build up a resistance to that, and most people just don't get that. Like, they're not willing to sit through several hours of just watching some, you know, it still needs to be interesting. Like, you can't just put out a bunch of crap for several hours, you know, waiting for the cool thing to happen. Like, I'm not saying that that's the case. You still have to be interesting. You still have to have an interesting personality. You still have to be engaging, right? Like, I don't sit here and just play the game and stare forward and do nothing. I try to be as engaging as I can be, right? But at the same time, you know, the expectation that people have now to have these highly edited videos that cut out anything that could be considered as even remotely boring, I think it does a disservice to not only content creators but to the audience themselves, because, you know, you're not getting a real experience that way. And I don't know. I've gotten myself to a point. I don't think I've gotten myself to a point. I think I've always been at a point where I much prefer a genuine, just hang out with a content creator experience. And I think that's why live streams do so well, right? Because you feel like you're hanging out with somebody. Now, that said, one of the reasons that I don't end up watching live streams is because I do like the ability to be able to kind of jump around a video. If I get to a part where I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm kind of done with this section, let me be able to move forward, I still want to have that option, right? Like, if I'm getting bored with a certain segment of whatever a person's doing, I want to be able to, like, fast forward. And you can't do that during a live stream. So, it's kind of I don't want to say it's a catch-22 situation. I just think that it would be nice if we're ready to do our scan. I think it would be nice if the more of a Let's Play format would make a comeback. Because, it requires very little effort on the part of the content creator outside of just crafting themselves into somebody that's interesting to watch, right? And B, it provides much more of an opportunity for longer watch time, because now people have an expectation that they're going to settle in for the long haul of a video, right? And they don't have this I need to see something cool in the first 5 seconds or I'm clicking off the video. Like, this rapid fire need for something awesome to happen is just, it's bad all around, at least as far as I'm concerned. It's bad all around. It's bad for me, it's bad for you, and it's bad for YouTube ultimately, because, you know, we need to be focusing on things that encourage people to watch longer. We need to be highlighting content creators that are providing videos that are not highly engaging, but engaging enough, and they're able to sustain it for a long enough period that people are interested in watching. Now, you know, I don't know. I have a different philosophy, I think, from the mainstream, and that's probably why I'm struggling to grow, because I'm not willing to adapt myself to be the way that the mainstream of YouTube works. And, you know, by nature, that's going to make me struggle to grow. I want to do Let's Play videos. I want to do minimal editing. I want to, ideally, put out something that is genuine me for about 30 minutes at a time, and ideally people will be interested in watching that. And obviously I do my best to try to make sure that wow, we're not finding any stratum here. Ideally, I do put a fair amount of thought and effort into making sure that my performance is as good as it can be when I'm doing these videos. Man, this may have been a big waste of time. I haven't seen a single stratum here. Oh, okay, well, we're out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and call that an episode. Hopefully, you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button if you did, so that the YouTube algorithm knows and sends video out to more people. Help us reach 10,000 subscribers by pressing that subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, you can always leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. And if you'd like to do a more continuing basis kind of subscription, along with getting some exclusive perks, you can always click the join button and check out the options available as a channel member. So again, thank you very much for watching this Elite Dangerous video. Be sure to come back for the next episode, and I'll see you then.